Today,
We're going over the best hybrid mage build in New World. My name's Claysthetics, and we're running right into it. Now, our last build was a 3-weapon banger, and a lot of people reached out saying it was a little too much, so we made this a 2-weapon build. And with the recent changes to Gravity Well with the rooting effect, the setup for the Ice Golem is absolutely insane. The main focus of this build is team fight and slaying groups of enemies, but if you're looking for that pure 1v1, just swap the GREATAXE out for a Rapier and you're going to be vibing. Again, like the last build, we're not going to be using any bugs or exploits. It's not how I play games. I don't condone or believe in doing anything that degrades other people's game experience. And using exploits is only going to degrade your own skill level and just make you garbage at the game as you become reliant on them. If you keep with this mindset, you're always going to be able to be the best and stay at the top. I'm going to constantly push that mentality to everybody here, and it's the people who I choose to surround myself with. All that being said, if you gain any value from this, I'd really appreciate it if you like the video. It's the only way YouTube knows I exist. And subscribe because we need more of those too. Now I'm going to run down the strengths and weaknesses of the build. First off, our strengths, we've got crazy burst elemental damage, and considering the meta is to run full physical resistance, you're going to be blowing everybody up. You got the best of both worlds with range and melee damage, and the amount of damage that the GREATAXE puts out is going to surprise every single person that runs into you. The amount of area control that we have is absolutely disgusting. If anybody ends up in a choke against you, that's your choke. Our CCs are just roots and slows, but with how strong roots are now, might as well be a stun unless they have a cleanse spot. And for our speed, you can drop the ice shower and run through it, or charge. For our weaknesses, we got low physical damage, we've got no sustain and regen, and if we ever run into an elite mob with fire and ice resistant, we might as well AFK. Or you would think, but the ice column just does dummy damage for no reason. Now, getting into the weapon builds, we're starting off with the GREATAXE. We're going to be taking Maelstrom, Charge, and Gravity Well. This is a lot different from my last GREATAXE build, but it is absolutely insane. And the more enemies you have around you, the stronger you're going to be. Now, Gravity, pretty much the most insane talent out of the entire thing, just because Maelstrom and Gravity Well are both going to be rooting for you. Now to run down our not so standard Ice Gauntlet build. Our main survivability skill is going to be Charge, so you don't often actually want to charge into things. You want to set them up without it so that you can escape with it. Now our 3 abilities are going to be Ice Spikes, Ice Storm, and Ice Shower. You get your full build set up like this, you're going to be almost unstoppable. Between Ultimate Chill and Critical Frost, you are going to be pumping so much damage with these skills. You're going to be deleting everybody and everything in front of you. And the reason we didn't take any mana skills was very simply because you can switch to the GREATAXE and regen your mana and just go absolutely crazy with that while you need it. Now to go over our attributes, basically the whole idea is that we hit 150 con. We're going to be using food to do this. I know with the Void Gauntlet bug where it strips your food buff and stuff, it sucks, but it is what it is. If you're really annoyed by it, drop a couple points out of intelligence and put the extra 24 into con just to always have 150. I think having that 10% crit damage reduction is almost mandatory, especially because we're going to be dropping a couple pieces to, well, have some better ability skills on them. And honestly, if you do feel like you're taking too much damage, then run 200 con. If you're not comfortable playing the build, that's going to make you almost unkillable to most of the melee that are running around in this setup. So do with that what you will. I personally don't really feel like I need the 200 con right now, and I'd rather just do enough damage to instantly kill whoever's in front of me. So our food of choice is going to be pork belly fried rice. We already ate it, and our stat line is going to round out to 323, 150. Other consumables you might need, but, well, you know, with the Void Gauntlet, it kind of sucks to use the gemstone dust, oak bomb flesh, and owning stones. It'll help you survive basically against whoever you're playing against and just give you that little bit extra. I've also tried both of these setups, one with 420 int and no con, and well, I mean, the open world PvP is fun with it, and the harvesting gear seems to work fine, but it's definitely better with more con. So now we're finally down to our gear and all the traits that we're going to be going for. Starting with our weapons, you're going to be basically mandatory needing Keen and Vicious. Other good options are going to be Keen Awareness, Rogue, and Lifestealing, but they won't get as much value as the first two. As you're going to see on my GREATAXE, I have Keen and Vicious, and on my Ice Gauntlet, I just have Vicious. Get what you can and just use whatever's cost efficient for you. Onto the armor traits, you're going to basically just need Resilient, Unending Thaw, Ice Refresh, and Insatiable Gravity Well. I think that the 3 that aren't resilient make a massive difference and basically are mandatory to make this build strong. Just to show you what I'm running, I have Insatiable Gravity Well on my boots, Ice Refresh on my pants, Unending Thaw on my gloves, and then just Faction Gear, chest, and hat. For this setup, you also notice we're going to be running medium, not light, because you're going to be in melee the whole time. You don't want to get popped. And how I always set that up is heavy hat, heavy chest, medium gloves and boots, and light pants. As you see in this chart, there's a couple ways to actually run the medium build, and all of them work, and there isn't much of a difference for any of them. Now we're going to finish this off real quick with our jewelry. On my neck, I have health, but if you can get Purify and Divine with decent stats, that shit is going to be BIS. On my ring, the only big thing I was looking for was Keen Awareness, but the other two things, if you're looking for a BIS ring, would be Hardy and Ice damage. And on your earring, really the only thing you're going for is Refreshing Toast. Now I'm going to blast a mini PvP montage of the build. I know New World combat can be, well, interesting to watch to say the least, but I did my best to make it a lot of fun, just so you guys can see how it works. I'll get back with you when it's over.
there's realize in our lives. Where you lie, then I minimize all the intake that I take from you fakes. Then I take a break and I make a masterpiece from a broken piece. Then rest in peace to the kings and queens that made it possible for us to feast with our families. Yeah, bare minimum at least. Gotta have the keys, only the black ones on the piano, no ivory. It's cold out there, zip up the camo, keep them safe from the poachers. Bullet shooting everywhere, no more ammo. Mi amor. Zip up the ziplock, holding the zip. Don't trip, don't trip. Zip up the ziplock, holding the zip. Don't trip, don't trip. Zip up the ziplock, holding the zip. Drip, 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 drip. Zip up the ziplock, holding the zip. Drip, drip.
Packing the zip, tucking the whip, lay on the low, watch for the feds. I know you tryna get bread. The way we were bred might leave you for dead. I'm just tryna get ahead. They may try to take your head off. I'm just tryna move tree. They just wanna move your head. Top, key after key, bar after bar. Leave you with scars or shoot with no stars. Look where we are. Look where we are. Yeah, live by the sword, die by the sword. You pray on the weak, but pray to the Lord. You say you pour what you want to afford. Destined for more, manifest what's in store.
Zip up the ziplock, holding the zip.
Don't trip, don't trip.
Zip up the ziplock, holding the zip.
Don't trip, don't trip.
Zip up the ziplock, holding the zip.
Drip, 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 drip.
Zip up the ziplock, holding the zip.
Drip, 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 drip.
Hope every bad thing I do don't affect her karma. I reap what I sow, I dip and I go. I stay with the waves and flow. Make sure you do what you love. Lead with your heart with love. Don't give a fuck if they judge. Give a 1-2 and see if they budge. Mama said knock you out. Slap him in the face, no doubt. No need to single me out unless I did something foul. I'm just trying to feed my child. All these masons acting wild. They careless with what they say. As long as the money's straight, I get paid, no jet lag. I stay up, elevate like sensei. Zip up the ziplock, holding the zip.
Don't trip, don't trip.
Zip up the ziplock, holding the zip.
Don't trip, don't trip.
Zip up the ziplock, holding the zip.
Drip, 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 drip.
Zip up the ziplock, holding the zip.
That's the end of our little PvP montage. Now we're just going to get into a couple of PvE clips to show you the true potential of this build. We're going to start off just with some random elite that lots of people like to farm for Watermark, and you know, I thought I was alone, but it is what it is, and you know, the amount of bursts is definitely going to make a lot of people mad. That's about it. Now we're back at Vehemence, just like the last build video, and I just want to show off how crazy Ice Refresh is. When you kill something with Ice Spike, it just resets your cooldowns, basically, and just lets you go crazy. Even though these monsters are 40% stronger against frost damage, you're still absolutely deleting them with the Ice Gauntlet. If that doesn't say anything about the true potential of this build, I don't know what does. But now that you've seen everything this build's capable of, hopefully you give it a shot. And if you feel like I missed something, you need a little bit of extra help, feel free to ask me in the comments. Now, for all you real motherfuckers that always stay until the end of the video, you know I love you the most. And I think this is easily the best solo engaged carry build. If you're with a group of people you can trust, you're going to go absolutely crazy all the time. The build is cracked, it locks down any kind of choke bush, and it just makes it impossible for melee to deal with you or whoever you're playing with. And the best part is, when you hit that huge grab wheel, you can just solo kill everybody in it. Now, I know most of you like to play the game solo, and I mean, most of gathering and farming is solo, but I personally think that if you join a group of friends or people that are pushing to be better and stronger, you're going to have a lot more fun on New World. You're going to be able to share these memories with the people you respect or care about, and it's just going to make everything more meaningful. And if you go by the same mindset in real life, everything you do becomes more meaningful. We're all going to the top together, so don't forget that. And you're going to see a ton of crazy PvP stuff coming to the channel from here on out. I have a few guides planned and some crazy information that's going to help keep my subscribers ahead of the majority of the player base. Like usual, if you've been around, you probably have made a couple 100,000 or even 1 million gold. So if you did get any value from this video, please like it. It helps put me in front of more people. It helps me do what I really want to do, which is just playing video games all day. And if you were really all about it, make sure you subscribe with notifications. You're going to be able to get right back here when I post a new video. I hope you all have a beautiful night, that you stay safe and blessed, and I'll see you in the next one.